Today we have Abdullah, who is stuck at 6.5 in writing, so we're going to help him write an essay. The good news is we're going to go through everything step by step, and it is a completely interactive lesson, so you can play along at home and write your own essays. So the first thing that I would like you to do is just look at the question and have a think about it, all right?
All right.
Take a few minutes, think about it, and then we'll talk about it. At home, pause the video and have a think about it. What does the question mean? What is it asking you to do?
Okay.
So what does it mean? What is the actual question? Are any important keywords there in the question statement? Anything there that you need to be aware of?
I think the traffic congestion, also in many cities around the world.
Yeah. So it's not in one particular city.
Yeah.
It's it's just in general cities around the world, and it's in cities. Traffic congestion. You know what this means. We don't need to explain this to you.
Yes.
And it's a serious problem. What are the two things that it's asking you to do here?
Write more about the problems that it does cause. Like, let's say the time wasted, maybe the accidents that happens.
Good. Right away, you are doing what you should be doing. A common problem is that people get mixed up between the difference between a problem and a cause. So they see what problems does this cause, and they immediately start thinking about the causes of traffic congestion. So they'll start saying things like too many people, overpopulation, bad roads, bad planning. Those are all causes of congestion. But
not the actual problem.
The problems are like time wasting. People are late for all that. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
All of these things. So good. You've understood the task that it is about problems. And then what measures can be taken to solve this problem? What's another way of saying that?
The solutions.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a problems and solutions essay. So at the end of your essay, the examiner, the reader, should be able to read this essay and understand what you think the problems are and what the solutions are. Right?
Okay.
So the whole essay is going to be about that.
All right. Okay.
Any questions about that?
No, I think it's clear now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are many different types of task 2 question. One is problems and solutions. We're going to focus on this one today, and we'll cover others on later days. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is look at all of these ideas. So this is not, we're not going to use all of these. There are 3 possibilities.
Yeah.
I want you to look at the question, think about the question, and then think about possibility number 1, possibility number 2, possibility number 3. Think about 2 of these are wrong. You could not use these. So I don't mean individual things. I mean these here. 2 of these are wrong.
Yeah.
1 of them is right.
Oh, okay.
I want you to think deeply about the question and about these ideas. Take your time and at home, pause the video, think about the 3 possibilities and think about which ones are wrong and which ones are correct. So before we look at the one you think would be best, which ones are wrong and why do you think they're wrong?
Businesses lose money from delivery delays. I think this is wrong.
Okay.
It's not really connected to the traffic congestion. So I think it's not going to help me in the essay.
Okay. So if you think personally that it's wrong and you wouldn't be able to write about it, you shouldn't use that idea because there's no point in you because often students will think of an idea and they're like, that's kind of right. I think that might be right, but I don't really know how to explain it or think of an example.
Yeah.
That's definitely a good point. But the problem with this one is there's way too much.
Yeah.
So you will only have 40 minutes to write your essay. Your essay will be between, let's say, 260 and 300 words approximately. You just do not have enough time to write about all this. And if you did write about all this, you wouldn't be able to develop each idea.
Yeah.
So that one, wrong for multiple reasons.
Okay.
Which other one do you think is wrong?
I think this one is also wrong.
Why?
Because it doesn't make sense, like the car manufacturers are producing too many vehicles. And also, like, it doesn't make sense for the governments to ban all private cars in cities. Like, how is people going to commute? Or
Yeah. So this is a cause. This is a cause. This doesn't make any sense. It would be, I mean, you could do that, but it's
could.
kind of like saying how you stop spam emails is ban all email. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like not really gonna, not really possible.
And also, like being forced to use the public transport, also it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So that leaves us with possibility number 2. So think about a few different things. Do these actually answer the question?
It does actually, like, because many people are actually waiting or wasting time, hours commuting, which does really reduce the quality of their lives.
Absolutely.
Like, sometimes we spend 2 hours just to go to a place that takes around 20 minutes.
Excellent.
Because of traffic.
Yeah.
Also, it does increase the air pollution and it harms the public health.
Exactly. Yeah. Good. So both of these are linked to the question. They answer the question. They're relevant to the question, which is the most important thing. And then secondly, would you be able to write about these? Would you be able to explain them? Would you be able to think of examples?
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah. So these are 2 good problems. As good problems sound a bit weird, but for this
to write about
to write about, yes.
But not in real life.
Not in real life, no. Government should invest in better public transport. Is this a common solution that is often talked about in cities that have bad traffic?
Yes, actually, and it does help. Like if, let's say, they come up with more public transport roads, like just for the public transport, and they separate it from like the private cars, I think it would help a lot in making the traffic less and less.
Good. Companies allowing employees to work from home. Does this solve the problem?
That actually cuts perhaps like half the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, because so many companies and people can actually work from home.
Yep.
They don't really need to work from office. They can just finish their tasks remotely.
Are you happy to use these ideas in your essay?
Yes, I think this is like a good choice. It's clear and it answers the problem and it gives like solutions.
So these ideas are probably the most common ideas for these. And a lot of people worry that, oh, my ideas are not advanced enough or sophisticated enough. You don't get extra marks for sophisticated ideas or out-of-the-box ideas. You get high marks for relevant ideas that answer the question that you can clearly write about. So these, if you asked 100 people,
Yes.
90 of them would say some of these things.
Yeah.
It's the simplest, most
Simple,
straightforward.
and it's not that complicated.
Exactly. So if it's complicated and you are confused about it,
You're just gonna
if
waste
your brain
time.
is wasting time, which is a big no-no in the test, very good. If your brain is confused, your writing is confused. Because what writing an essay is basically putting your brain on paper.
Yeah.
So the clearer your thoughts are, the clearer your essay is. So what we need to do is we need to take these ideas and we need to build a plan. Plan all our essay out before we start writing. Because what students often do is they will just immediately start writing. They'll start thinking of ideas, immediately start writing, and they'll get lost, or they won't follow a proper structure. So what we're going to do is share this structure with you, and on test day, you will have this memorized and you will use it. But let me talk you through it. It's a 4-paragraph structure. These are the different paragraphs, these different boxes. Paragraph number 1 is your introduction. So you're going to introduce the context. We're going to talk about traffic congestion, and you're going to introduce your problems and your solutions. So you're just going to briefly state those. You're not going to go into details. You're just going to say something like, there's a lot of traffic congestion in a lot of cities. This causes these 2 problems, and here are solutions to that problem. All right? Any questions about the introduction?
No, I think it's clear.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not going to go into any detail, anything like that.
Yeah.
The last paragraph is your conclusion. So an introduction is introducing the ideas, and a conclusion is summarizing those ideas. The introduction says, here's what I'm going to talk about. Here are the main ideas. And then the conclusion at the end, this is what I just talked about.
Yeah,
this is the summary. So a good essay, you should be able to cut out the conclusion and cut out the introduction and show that to a stranger who speaks English
Yeah.
and say, do you know what I think about the answer to the essay question? And if it's a good conclusion and a good introduction, they will be able to, because it's just your main ideas. Next, we have our main body paragraphs or supporting paragraphs. So you'll notice it's all color-coded. Pink are the problems. So we state here, pink, go into detail here, and then we summarize it here. Green is our solutions. Then we go into detail here, and then we summarize them here. Because it's in the question, it asked us for problems, plural, we're going to put 2 here.
Oh, okay.
And solutions, plural, we're going to put 2 here. But because we're going into more detail here, we're explaining the problem. Why is it a problem? And we're explaining problem number 2 and giving an example, and the same explaining why that solution would work and an example of that solution. All right. You don't have to give the example here. You can give the example here. You don't have to give the example here. You can give it up here. But I wouldn't give two examples.
It's too much.
You can if you can easily think of them, but a lot of students find it very difficult to think of examples.
Yeah.
So normally if you give them 2 solutions and 2 problems, they can think of at least one example. Other people find it very easy. So it's flexible.
Yeah,
right?
it depends on what's on your mind.
Exactly, exactly. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to paraphrase. Paraphrase is where we take the question and we write it again using different words, but it means the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so for example, I am a man, I am a male. That's a paraphrase. I use different words, but it means the same thing.
The same thing.
If I said I am a female, it wouldn't mean the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
of course. Yeah.
Right. I would like you to take the question statement. So not what problems does this cause or what measures can be taken, just the question statement here, first sentence. And I would like you to write it again using different words, but make sure that it means the same thing. I'll not tell you what to do just yet.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake, that's fine.
Yeah.
But just have a think about it and try your best. Okay, so in this modern era, the issue of vehicular overcrowding on metropolitan roadways has emerged as a pressing concern for urban dwellers globally. Okay, so if we were talking normally about this topic, would you ever say vehicular overcrowding on metropolitan roadways? Would you ever say that?
No, not really.
So why use it in an essay that way?
I think because I want to show them that I have many words, like other than the regular words that we use daily. So to show them, like, yes, I am very smart. I can write.
You are very smart. You are very smart and you can write. What could be the risk of doing that if you do that too much?
Because it's like I'm trying too hard. Or maybe I am showing off.
Yeah. Which would be easier? Would it be easier to just write normally? Or
Yeah,
would
of
it be
course.
easier to... So we want to avoid doing anything that is difficult for the sake of being difficult. In other words, it's not improving our score. So it's okay to do difficult things if it helps us, but we shouldn't do difficult things in our preparation or on exam day if it doesn't help us at all, or even worse, it actually lowers our score. For example, you have a spelling mistake here.
Yeah.
On test day, that will add up if you keep making spelling mistakes, keep making grammar mistakes. The more complex your language, the more mistakes you're going to make.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like I did here.
Yes. So one of the things that the examiners will be looking for when they're reading your essay is how many sentences have 0 errors. They're error-free.
Yeah.
And they will actually count the number of sentences that have no grammatical errors. They'll also look at how many spelling mistakes, how many punctuation errors, things like that. If you are trying to use very high-level language over and over again, nearly every sentence will have an error in it, which will mean that is why you're stuck at 6.5.
Yeah.
It is impossible, really, to get higher than 6.5 and make small grammatical errors in nearly every sentence and small spelling errors in nearly every sentence. So what we're going to do is I want when we spoke about this, you were just using normal language.
Yeah.
I would like you to try again and just write it in the way that you speak to me normally.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So try one more time. So you've taken traffic congestion and you've changed that to heavy traffic. Heavy traffic, traffic congestion means the same thing.
Okay.
Serious problem, major issue means the same thing. Cities worldwide, cities around the world means the same thing.
Yes.
So you've simplified it. It's much easier. You're going to save a lot of time. And that means that you can just look at it, write your paraphrase, and then get into your essay. Instead of, how can I make this fancy and high level? And you're avoiding mistakes as well. Now, you repeated one word, which is cities. But the examiners won't look at that and think, he repeated the word cities. They'll think he took cities around the world and he changed that to cities worldwide. So this is like one unit of language. So you've changed this unit of language to this unit of language. So this is actually much higher level than this.
Oh, okay.
Much, much higher level.
Oh, wow.
So simplicity is actually harder to do than to just throw in a bunch of complex words and hope for the best.
Yeah.
It is far more elegant. So simplicity is good. No, we're gonna
Good to know. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. So we're not going to use this one. This is our paraphrase. And then if we look here at, we need to briefly state our two problems and briefly state our two solutions. So we're going to continue on. We're going to continue to write our introduction from here. Before we do that, I'm going to give you three options. So this is our outlining our main ideas. I want you to look at these three options, think about them, take your time, and then tell me which two are wrong and which one is correct. Which two do you think are wrong?
I think option 2 and 3 are wrong.
Correct.
Because
Why?
we don't usually say like, I'm gonna look at the problems and this essay will discuss the problems and solutions.
Yeah. This is an example of a memorized template. The reason why students love these, not you guys, of course, but many other students love these, is it's kind of a little bit of a cheat. It's a little bit of a hack where students are worried about the test and they find this and they think, at least for the introduction, I won't have to do any thinking because I'll just memorize this, I'll write it out and hope for the best.
Yeah.
The examiners know that you've memorized it, and writing and memorization are not the same thing. All right, so it's not a memorization test, it's a writing test.
Yeah.
So this is a no-go. This one, what's the problem with this one?
Kind of the same. Although many people believe governments should take action, others argue that individuals are responsible for solving this crisis. It also says like an opinion here. That is, I think it is wrong.
Yeah, so what this person is doing is they are misinterpreting the question as there's another question type called discuss both views, where it says, here's a scenario. Some people think this, some people think the opposite.
Yeah.
Discuss both these views and give your opinion. This question is asking you, what are the problems and what are the solutions?
Yeah.
That's all you should do. So this is the wrong structure.
Yeah.
It's answering the wrong question. This often happens when students just memorize one or two different structures and then they apply it to any question. For each type of question, there is a unique structure. So we follow this. If you guys would like these structures for not just problems and solutions questions, for all the different types of questions, I've put them into one handy PDF for you. All you have to do is just go to the description, click on the link, and that's our free gift to you. It's 100% free. Just click the link and we will email it to you. So we're going to use this one. So we'll change it. I'll show it you just like this. So imagine this is your introduction. What you will be able to do is, even without this structure, you can look at this and you know exactly what to write in the rest of your essay. So the main problems are that people waste hours commuting. This is idea number 1. So with the structure would be idea number 1, reduces our quality of life. Air pollution. Idea number 2.
Okay.
Issues address improving public transport. Idea number 3. and then allowing employees to work from home.
Yeah.
Idea number 4.
Okay.
So all we have to do is just keep looking at our introduction, and this is like a mini plan.
Mm-hmm.
So by nailing this, we've done all of our thinking, and we know exactly what we're going to write. Now we have to take these ideas and explain them, think of examples, but this just keeps you on track and kind of forces you down that track of following this structure. This is why we spend so much time teaching the introduction, because once students know how to write the introduction properly,
makes everything else easy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it is also a good idea to think about what explanations and examples are we going to put in here. Problem number 1, wasting time. Why do you think wasting time is a problem? Why can't they just sit in their cars and be happy?
I think because it's less time for family, and it also increases stress levels.
Okay.
And it definitely lowers the quality of life.
Okay, good. So if you put stress, family, quality of life in here, just quick notes. And the next problem is the air.
Pollution.
Why is air pollution a problem? Why can't people just breathe in all this lovely air and be happy?
I think because of the engine runnings the whole time, the exhaustion system. Some people, they have breathing problems, asthma. Like it does really cause sinus problems.
Okay. And can you think of an example of that? So it could be an example of the breathing problem itself. It could be an example of, I'm not going to put words into your mouth, or but what do you think?
I could think of a few cities that are crowded. I think maybe in India, in Delhi, also in Beijing. So, and it causes a lot of breathing problems because it's super crowded, and the exhaustion system, the engine runnings the whole time. Yeah. So it makes it more polluted.
So you don't have to put it in multiple cities, but just pick maybe a couple of cities, put them in here. They're real places that, you know, if you asked 100 people what are the most polluted cities in the world, which one or two?
Yeah.
So put it there. Okay, so the next solution is public transport.
Okay.
Imagine you are explaining public transport to someone who's never heard of it. How does public transport help?
I think public transport, it's faster, more affordable, and people would just stop driving cars and use public transport for, let's say, an easier way for them to just sit and not drive.
Good. Add those notes.
Okay.
And the last solution is work from home. How does working from home reduce traffic?
I think because fewer people are traveling to office, so it would be less traffic and less cars.
Especially at peak times, like rush hour. It really helps that. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So I've put those ideas here. And let's think of one example of work from home. Was there a time or an event that happened recently where a lot of people worked from home?
Oh, yeah. COVID-19.
That's an excellent example.
Okay.
So, for example, during COVID-19, people stopped traveling to the office en masse and worked from home.
Yeah.
And it really reduced traffic congestion, showing that it can work, you know. So now we have kind of 2 plans. You do, by the way, at home, you don't have to make 2 plans. You're going to be writing your introduction anyway. You're going to be using this structure, which you can download in the description. But don't think that you have to plan your introduction and then plan all this out the way we have done this. What you will do is probably do this first using the structure, and you'll know exactly what to write in the main body, but you'll also be able to use the introduction to keep you on track with the main points. So you'll be able to look at the introduction, write out the main points, and then look at your notes here. And it just makes everything much, much easier because you just know exactly what to write. It takes a little bit of time to do this, but it saves you a lot of time when you start writing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can start writing now. We've already got our introduction. Now we can start with our topic sentence here. So we can write about wasting time. A topic sentence, a lot of people get confused about this. They think, well, what is a topic sentence? It sounds very fancy. It sounds a bit unusual. All it's doing is just introducing this main idea.
Yeah.
So because people get a little bit confused about these, what I'm going to do is I've created 3 topic sentences. I want you to read these 3 topic sentences, and I want you to tell me which 2 are wrong, which one is right.
Okay.
Same as you guys at home. Pause the video. We'll talk about it after.
I read them. I actually stopped reading this midway.
Why?
Because it's way too much. And I
Okay.
know like the examiner would just,
Good. Switch off. It would give them a headache.
yeah. And he'd be like, you're trying too much. Like, keep it simple.
All right.
Okay. The second one was actually good, but I think it's also wrong.
Why?
Because we are not talking about the major problem
Mm-hmm.
that the commuters are wasting hours each day stuck in traffic.
So the problem with topic sentence 2 is it introduces a new idea. So they're not actually sticking to the main idea, which is wasting time.
Yeah.
It makes them angry. This is starting to explain things, but it's going in a different direction. All a topic sentence should do is really just wave a flag and say to the reader, this is the main idea. This is what I'm going to talk about. So this does it in just a short, simple way. And then here we can talk about our explanation.
Yeah.
So here's the main problem. Here's an explanation of that problem. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask you to write the explanation. I'm not going to help you.
Yeah.
I've helped you a lot. So I'm not going to help you anymore.
Okay.
So the first major problem is that commuters waste hours each day stuck in traffic. That's your topic sentence, all good. Time spent sitting in traffic is the time that could be spent with family, exercising, or resting. So you've listed what they could be doing instead to explain why this is a problem.
Yes.
Good. When people spend 2 or 3 hours commuting every day, they have less time for the things that make life enjoyable, explaining why. Why is this a problem? All right, very well done. So why is that a problem? Well, over time, this leads to stress, exhaustion, and lower quality life. Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So imagine a 10-year-old who doesn't know anything about this,
Yeah.
or a 90-year-old who doesn't know anything about this, that lives in the countryside, has never lived in a city. If you explained that to them in that way, would they understand you? Yes.
Yes.
I think they would.
Yeah.
Good. Next, we're going to talk about the air problem. And you said that this is caused by exhaust fumes, causes breathing problems, for example, in countries like Delhi or Beijing. All right. So I want you to write the whole thing without my help, because you're doing really well.
Okay.
Another significant problem is the traffic congestion increase air pollution. So you just introduce, so another one, so you're showing that I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about a new one, but it's also a problem. And you've stuck to the plan. You're talking about air pollution. Good. Thousands of vehicles sitting in traffic with their engines running release large amounts of exhaust fumes into the air. So you're not assuming that the person reading it knows what air pollution is or how it's caused. You're writing it as if, again, explaining it to a 10-year-old. It's very, very good. This leads to the poor air quality, which can cause breathing problems and other serious health issues. So why is this a problem? What does it lead to? Good.
Yeah.
For example, cities like Delhi and Beijing regularly experience dangerously high pollution levels, largely due to the volume of traffic on their roads. Excellent. Few little grammatical problems, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We'll talk about that at the end. But overall, that is excellent. That is very, very good. You just kept it simple.
Yeah.
Everything is good. Because you're doing so well, I'm not going to help you with your solutions. One effective solution is for governments to invest in better public transport. So this is my main solution. Here it is. Very good. If cities provide fast, affordable and reliable buses and trains, more people will choose to use them instead of driving. Good. So you've listed what is public transport, how people will actually use them.
Yeah.
Now, why or how will this reduce traffic? This reduces the number of cars on the road, which directly reduces congestion. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Very simple, but very, very effective. Another solution is for companies to allow employees to work from home. Excellent. Here's my second main solution.
Yeah.
If fewer people need to travel to an office every day, there is fewer cars on the road during peak hours. Good. And now the example is, for example, after many companies adopted remote working during the COVID-19 pandemic, cities around the world saw significant reductions in traffic and commute times. Excellent. Again, a few little linguistic issues, but we're not going to worry about that. What we're really worrying about is, did you follow the structure, and did you do it in a way that leads to it being easy to understand and easy for you to convey what you think? So very, very good. Well done.
Thank you.
Finally, we need to write our conclusion. So you can look at the introduction and you can paraphrase that. Basically write it again, not exactly the same way, but try and change as much as
words,
you can.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to do that. So start off with, in conclusion, comma, and then say, here are the problems, here are the solutions. Okay.
All right.
In conclusion, traffic congestion wastes people's time and contributes to the harmful air pollution. Good. So instead of in the introduction, you talked about waste hours commuting. You said waste people's time.
Yeah.
Good. However, these problems can be reduced by investing in public transport. Good. And encourage remote working. If you would like this level of help and this level of feedback, you can become a VIP. To join our VIP course and get 10% off today, all you have to do is go to the description, click on the VIP 10% off link, and you can join today before all the places are gone. Excellent. You're done, but not quite yet. So 50% of your score is going to be, did you answer the question, and did you structure your answer in a way to make your writing and your ideas clear and easy to understand and cohesive? By following this system, it kind of forces you to do all the right things and get that 50% of your score. The next 50% is grammar and vocabulary. So 25% for grammar, 25% for vocabulary. The first thing we're going to work on is your vocabulary. So the examiner is thinking of a few different things when they're thinking about your vocabulary. One is it accurate? So is the spelling accurate? Have you made many spelling mistakes? Is the meaning accurate?
Yeah. So
do the words actually mean what you think they mean, and are the collocations accurate? Overall, your vocabulary is very, very accurate and appropriate. Yeah. You haven't made many mistakes. One thing that could be improved is the other thing that the examiner will be thinking about is the range of your vocabulary. Are there any words that you have repeated again and again and again that you could maybe change to another alternative? What I would like you to do is just have a look and underline any words that are repeated many, many times. So it seems that the two words that you've repeated many, many times are traffic and pollution.
Yes.
Now, this essay is about traffic.
Yeah.
It's about pollution.
Yes.
So you're going to have to repeat those words many, many times.
Yeah.
So I think you have traffic 9 times so in the whole essay, and pollution about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Now, because the essay is about this, it is very difficult to change those words. So only do it if you can. So you could change something like, the first major problem is that commuters waste hours each day stuck in traffic. You could change that to something like...
stuck in their cars, maybe.
Stuck in their cars. Excellent. Okay, so, but don't spend a huge amount of time on this in the middle of writing your essay. What I would recommend doing is finish your essay.
Yeah.
Be aware that there are some words that you're repeating and try and change them. But if you spend your whole time trying to think, how can I change this word? How can I change this word? You're going to either run out of time or you're going to be thinking too much about vocabulary and not enough about just getting your essay done. There are 2 strategies that you could use. The first strategy is what we're doing now. You go through them. I wouldn't underline them in the real deal, but just make a mental note of them.
Yeah.
And then think, could I change this to something as long as it's correct? The other thing you can do is during the planning stage, you could note down, okay, this essay is about traffic, it's about pollution, it's about reducing. So you could add those common words and then, okay, how do I change this?
Yeah.
Before even starting writing,
Yeah.
what are some synonyms? What are some common alternatives that I could use? And then you have those, and as you're writing, you can check that list and do that. What you should never do is believe the myth. There's a big myth that if you repeat one word, you get a low score. This is not the case, because there's only a certain number of ways that you can say traffic. There's only a certain number of ways you can say pollution. The bigger problem that you have, I don't think you have a huge vocabulary problem. You do have a little bit of a grammar issue. You don't have an issue with every area of grammar. In general, your grammar is very good. 90% of the students that we work with, their grammar is good apart from one or two areas. And it really depends on where you're from. Russian speakers, for example, don't have articles in their when they're writing Russian or speaking Russian, so they have a big problem with articles.
Yeah, connected.
You are an Arabic speaker,
yes,
and what I've noticed is you have an issue sometimes with articles as well, and sometimes with subject-verb agreement, because Arabic works different than English in that way. So, for example, here, another significant problem is that traffic congestion should be increases.
Oh, okay.
Air pollution. And then here, this reduces the number of cars on the road. And in conclusion, traffic congestion wastes people's time. All right. So it's not as if every time you use subject-verb agreement that you're making that mistake, but there's just, it adds up.
Yeah.
And then there's also the issue with articles. So here we don't need this article. Is time that is not, is the time that could be spent, is time that could be spent with family. Here again leads to the per air quality, it just leads to per air quality. And here contributes to the harmful air pollution. So the good news is that we know what your mistakes are. So punctuation, subject-verb agreement, and grammar. The good news is that they're not major, they're not very frequent, and we can work on those.
Yeah.
And I think within a few weeks, definitely within a few months, we could remove all of those. So it's very targeted. We're not saying that you need to go and get an expensive grammar course and spend 6 months doing it. You just need to figure out the rules
and focus on them.
And then if you follow the structure, I think your vocabulary is quite good. Your ideas, your explanations, your examples are all very, very solid. I think if we just sort out those 3 little areas of grammar, you're going to be in very, very good shape. Any questions about this?
No, I think you summarized everything that I needed to work on. And I think it's pretty clear to me what am I gonna be studying or focusing on. Because I think because I am from an Arabic region, the way we say it in Arabic, that's how I write it in English. But it shouldn't be that way.
No, because this is a common thing where you translate from your mother tongue.
Yes.
And we need to get you into the habit of just writing in English and thinking in English. And not translating so much.
For example, like the, for us, it's like we're saying about something about al. So this is like in Arabic. Al, something like that. Al-Kitab. That means the book.
Okay.
So this is how we translate it.
I see. So think of it as when you're talking about you're talking about something very specific. And if you don't have an article, you're talking about something in general. So if we were talking about the air pollution in this city, then that is a specific thing. Whereas if we were talking about air pollution in general, for generalities, we're not going to put that in there. Grammar is very rules-based, so you need to practice that. You can't just say, follow this rule. That's not going to help you. So you need to first learn the rules, be aware of the rules, see examples of that, and then there's tons of practice activities you can do online, and it's just about practicing it over and then practicing writing the essays. I'll check your essays again and I'll highlight any of the mistakes again. But I think if you follow that system, you're going to reduce these further and further and further.
Hopefully, it will work out with me.
Good. So that's how to write a problems and solutions essay. If you would like to know how to write another type of essay, you can click here or here.